Well, Guy Lodge is an Observer film columnist and the chief UK film critic for Variety. He joins us now from London. Hi there. You know, there have been wonderful foreign films in the past that have won Best Foreign Film. Why this year was it decided to put Parasite in the Best Film category and let it win the All-American Oscar honor?
I think it's something we've been getting closer to with every year. Last year we had Roma, the Mexican film, which was nominated for a lot of Oscars. It won Best Director, it came very close to winning Best Picture. And I think this was of the year it just tipped over the edge. The Academy has been hugely expanding its membership. It's been adding a lot of non-American international members and voters. And I think we are starting to see the effect of that in the final vote.
Okay, I mean, as for Americans themselves, I mean, they can love subtitled films, but they're usually from either, Europe or elsewhere in the Americas, like Brazil or Mexico. What is it about South Korean cinema that broke through that barrier to come from so far and to win?
I think Parasite is a really extraordinary case. I mean, this is the first Korean film that has ever been nominated in any category at the Oscars. But I think this film has resonated globally because it, I think, taps into a universal kind of rage about class injustice and the rich and the poor. And I think there's something very identifiable about it everywhere that everyone connects with. And I think it's resonating a lot in America right now as well.
Okay. I mean, run us through while I've got you. Some of the other awards, was, most of the rest kind of standard fare, or did something stand out to you this year?
I think, Parasite's two victories were the big surprises. Everything else went more or less to plan. I mean, the acting awards, Joaquin Phoenix and Renee Zellweger and Laura Dern and Brad Pitt they'd won everything else all season. I think we all knew that was going to happen. I think the interesting thing was 1917, which had kind of gone in as the Best Picture favorite, really underperforming in the end and only taking 3 technical trophies. So, its loss was Parasite's gain.
What about the complaints, though, that, again, women and minorities were underrepresented?
I mean, I think that it's going to be a discussion that's going to come up every year, and progress is going to be incremental. I mean, this year, the slighting of female directors and of Greta Gerwig in particular, whose film Little Women was nominated for Best Film, but she was not for Best Director. And people were understandably, I think, very, very sore about that. I think, in a way, rewarding Parasite, the first Asian film to win, the top Oscars, I think that was a big step for representation. I mean, it's intersectional, so I think the Academy is trying to address kind of one problem at a time. But I'm hoping that future years bring more opportunities for female directors to be recognized, because we've only had one woman win Best Director in 92 years. Not good enough.
Okay, I've got time actually for one more question. So I want to go back to South Korea, and specifically talk to us about South Korean cinema itself, because it is the one country in East Asia that has made its way with its entertainment culture into the West, and I mean strongly, as an understatement. We remember movies from like 2003. Old Boy was a huge hit. Okja on Netflix. What does South Korea have in its cinema industry that makes it so palatable and wanted by the entire globe?
It's interesting. I think they have a very kind of tuned in governmental kind of funding for the arts and for cinema. And they've had, as you say, they've had a run of extraordinary filmmakers working at the very top of their game. We've got Lee Chang-dong and Park Chan-wook, and Bong Joon-ho is the latest in a long tradition. I once went to Busan for the film festival there. There's a real film culture in that country, and it clearly reaps fruit in their cinema.
Okay, Guy Lodge joining us there from London. Thanks so much for that.